Meaghan, and I am an interviewer for the BBC, the Briarwood Broadcasting Committee here at Briarwood. And it is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. And I am here with Meaghan DeJong, who is our new Director of Life Enrichment. So we're going to find out more about Meaghan. And why don't we start? And welcome to Briarwood, first of all. Tell me about where life started for you and what your early days were like.
Yeah, so I grew up in Leicester, Massachusetts, about 20 minutes from here. I was the middle of two sisters. I have an older sister and a younger sister. We had a wonderful life growing up, great childhood. Then went on to marry my high school sweetheart back in high school, and we went on to have three beautiful children. We moved to Oxford probably in 2005, and we had our three babies, raised them there. They went to high school there. And from then we just lived this great adventure of the life with the kids and growing up in this small town and very family-oriented, school-oriented town. It's a good town. So we were there for many years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit here because I know that you have moved.
Yes.
And I just wondered where you're living now.
So about 6 months ago, we sold our marital home, so no longer married, and I am renting a beautiful place on Lake Quinsigamon. So I am in Flint Pond, which is the south side of the lake, and we are there, and it's a beautiful little spot. We're right on the water. I've been there since February of this year, which has been the prompt to start a new career in a different location, so I'm here.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm here.
That's
It's been a great fit, so.
Good, okay. We'll kind of get around to that.
Yeah.
So tell me about your education. I know that you certainly have done some work in therapeutic recreation. Tell me how you got started in this field.
So I started out in human services at Quinsigamon Community College in Worcester. I started because I wanted to be an advocate for teen moms and teen kind of, the youth of the area. And what happened was I really found love in geriatrics. I found love in human services. So when I started that, I realized I really wanted to push towards a therapeutic rec. So I transferred schools and went to Southern Connecticut State and did a degree there. So I'm still working towards it, and it's been really good.
I find it interesting that a young woman would choose geriatrics as one of her strong interests. How did that happen?
So I really have a love for older adults, and I always feel like I learn something every day when I'm talking with older adults or dealing with older adults, and it became a huge passion. I don't love the generation. I'm not one to do pediatrics. So when I first started I worked in a rest home when I was 16 years old, and I found a love for older adults there. I started helping them as home health aide, and then I decided I really wanted to do something that involved fun. So I worked in this rest home I was there about 6 years, and I started at the bottom working in home health aide and working in the kitchen, and then I realized I really wanted to do something that more enriched the lives of older adults. And through conversation, I decided that this is really what I wanted to do. I decided to raise my babies for many years and didn't work, and then went back to school and found a love for this. So that's kind of how it all started. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to find a job that I could work and not feel like I was working. And there was a famous quote that came up that said, if you find a job you love, you will never work a day in your life. And I remember thinking, if I have to work, I want to do something that fills my bucket, but also fills the lives of someone else. And I loved older adults, and that's the passion I went with. And yeah,
Terrific
don't look back.
philosophy, right? Don't look back.
Yeah.
And you worked at an organization called Families Together. Was that part of that?
Yeah. Yep. So Families Together happened right around COVID. I got the job before the world shut down with COVID. And I was the activities director there. They're they're an adult day program. They run on a health model, and they had over 50 clients before COVID, and they come for the day. So they're residents of the community. There were some residents from Worcester. It's located in Leicester. So I was there until COVID kind of shut the doors for a period on that time. So
Okay.
yeah, that was great. I loved it. We had clients from ages, my youngest client was in her 50s all the way up to 100 years old. And just working with everyone was great, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So after the world came back to itself after COVID, You moved on to a different agency, is that right?
Yeah, yep. So I applied for another continued care retirement community in Charlton. It's called the Overlook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another community in the area. And they have very similar, almost 300 residents there. It's a continued care. So they have assisted living, memory care, the nursing home. They have an adult day program. And I fell in love with my director. So when I interviewed with her, the residents, the way they talked to her, the way she spoke to the residents, I immediately took the job. She hired me on my birthday, actually.
Oh, that's exciting.
And we're still good friends this day. So we worked together. I started out as an assistant in one unit and then grew to a program coordinator for that unit, and then I took on 2 additional units that I ran at that point. And same thing, therapeutic recreation, anything engagement-wise. I booked all of their entertainment for all the units up there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
So that was a good time.
It was a great time. It really allowed me to get my footing in what I wanted to do and be able to listen to the residents. There were so many times early on that I thought I knew better,
Aha.
or I thought I was going to go in and change something. I'm like, look, this is what I want to do, and just listening and realizing that this is your world and I'm just helping facilitate that. And
A great lesson to learn.
Yeah, it was. They were amazing. They're great. Yeah. Great place.
And then when we talked earlier, you said that the move to Worcester is what brought about another job change.
Yeah, so I was there for a long time. My director left, who I worshipped. And when I came out here, I realized driving on 290 every single day wasn't my favorite thing. So I had just been looking, and I saw Briarwood posting, and when I came and met Ed, it was an entire fit. Like, I felt the same way I felt under my other director's role. And when it was the same thing. We had residents that were stopping in and giving him praise over things, and I thought, I can work for this guy. And that's how it started, yeah.
So that first interview really sold you.
And I told Ed, I said, you think you're interviewing me? I said, but little do you know, I've been interviewing you every time I've been in here. Because I wanted to make sure I worked for someone with the same integrity that I had. And he was. And that's why I took the position, yeah.
Well, it's certainly a joy to work with someone that you respect so much.
Yeah, it's great.
Terrific. What a good fit.
It has been. The staff, the team, the residents, everyone has been amazing.
So tell me about your job. What does the Director of Life Enrichment actually do? And
So here
we don't have all day, but I know the list is long.
So here at Briarwood, I do anything engagement-wise. So any of the theater shows, any of the speakers that come in, any of the performances, the musical artists, any of our trips that we have scheduled, that all comes through me. All the committees that we have a ton of resident-ran committees and groups here. Those will come to me if they need help with flyers or publications. The lunch bunch group, they come to me to make sure that I, make sure their room is reserved, that they have. Any of the functions that happen, our, remembrance program, those are all through me. So just kind of coordinating, there's a lot of event planning. We do a lot of event planning, the socials, working with different department heads, culinary, things like that. So that's really my role.
You also do the monthly calendar, is that right?
Yep, I print the monthly calendars and the events packet for every single month that goes out, as well as the trip paper that has all our trips posted on it. I also update all the books in the Loring Auditorium and the sign-up sheets that go into that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of things going on, which is great, so.
Yeah. So I know that you have set up some opportunities for people to interact with you and pass on their interests and their questions. So tell us about Moments with Meaghan.
Yeah, so this is something my predecessor did that was very helpful. It was kind of an open forum. So we started Moments with Meaghan. It will be on the last Tuesday of the month, and it's at 10 in the morning. Sometimes they bring treats, and it's an open forum. You come in, say, hey, maybe your resident will come in and say they found a show that they were interested in, may bring me a flyer, or, talking about maybe a program that happened that they liked or didn't like. So it's just an open discussion format.
Is that in the craft and chat room?
It is. It will be in the craft and chat room.
Okay. And then you started a travel group. Tell us about that.
So I'm very passionate to travel, and when I did my interview with Ed, it's something that he had brought up, that the residents really enjoyed traveling and that they had went on a cruise previously. And I decided once I started, this was something I wanted to make sure that I listened to the residents about what their needs were in traveling. So the easiest way to do that is to come up with a committee. It's an open committee. We have different residents that can pop in and we vote on certain things. So two of the things we put on July was the New York City trip for the day, and we also have a Newport Playhouse trip for the day. So those are two trips. We partnered with Wilson Bus Company, who's already a great company, and they've done great trips, and we're going to partner with them. We have 10 seats reserved for Briarwood on both of those trips. So that's great. And then we're going to do one in August that will be a Briarwood coach trip that's just for Briarwood residents, and then will be opened up after that. So, and
these
are all on that.
These are all described in the booklets that are at the back of the auditorium.
Exactly, yep.
Okay. And this travel group, is that meeting every month also?
It is. It's going to be the last Wednesday at 10 in the morning, and that is a pop-in group. You do not need to sign up. You do not need to be part of it. You can just come in, listen what's happening, coming up in the next month, and then we may vote on certain things. One of the things we voted on is to put a book out and ask where specifically. We have 3 places we picked, and then with those 3, the residents could choose one of the 3 trips they'd like to go on. I know Portland's on the table, another Newport Lighthouse trip is on the table. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that meeting on the last Wednesday is also in the craft and chat room?
Yep, both
Okay.
rooms, yes.
Easy to find?
Yep, right there, intimate little spot, it's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun and relaxation when you're not here doing all this job work?
Well, I do a lot of the same things I do here. I know we had live music outside over the weekend. That was incredible. Jediah came and performed. These are the things I will do. I will look at events and things to do. I love the theater. Live music is always fun. Movies, things like that. Any kind of fun activity to be out is what I love. I love to travel. So a lot of times I will find cheap flights, or I will find cool places to visit in Boston, and I'll head out with a couple groups of friends of mine. And I just love to explore, try new things, and the same thing I try to bring to the community.
Yeah, you're living the dream, because what you love doing is what you're here to make happen.
Yeah, and it's fun. Even last night I texted the girls, I said I purchased tickets to a candlelight show that is an ABBA cover, and it's right in Auburn. I've been looking at it for months, and finally it's available. I booked tickets for all of us to go, and it's just something that's super exciting, and I've been watching it for a while. So it's the same thing that gives me joy, and also brings our residents joy, and things that you guys bring to me is exciting. So
that's great. Are you a reader at all?
If I do read, I do a lot of Audible, and if I do my listening to my books, it's all usually 99% of the time self-help books. So I do a lot of self-help, kind of meditation books, things on bigger thinking and consciousness and stuff like that. That's kind of my groove.
Is meditation part of your daily routine?
I meditate every single day, if not twice a day. When I wake up in the morning, I do a round of meditation before I ever pick up my phone. In the morning is a lot of gratitude practices, so things I'm grateful for in my life. I go through and kind of go over the things, not just simple things, but there's an actual feeling that goes into this that you think about, and you meditate on those things, and it's important for me every day.
So the benefits to you are peace of mind?
It's peace of mind, and it gives you this sense of going into your day and realizing that everything is set up for you to be positive. Instead of starting your day on this bad note, you're starting with this feeling of immense appreciation for what life has given you. And you can do it, there was a time when we were all going through stuff, my friends and I, we grew up together, and there was a time where I was texting them in the morning and asking them 3 grateful things that they're grateful for, and they were texting me, and we were texting a group. Because sometimes you just need to feel that little bit of gratitude, and it's the way you change your mindset. And it starts early in the morning. So, yeah, it's very important. It's very important to me to be able to have a clear mind and go into a day and on a positive note. So,
terrific.
Yeah.
Something maybe more of us should try.
Even just jotting down 3 things at the table in the morning when you have your coffee, 3 things that you're grateful for that day. It could be the smell of the rain, things like that. Yeah, it's important.
Good advice and good practice, I can tell. So can you tell us a little bit about your family?
So I have 3 kids, beautiful kids. My oldest daughter, Emma, she is in nursing school to be an RN. She's going into her junior year. She's very academically strong. She is a newest employee of Briarwood. So she is a CNA. She works down in the Elms and she works in Evergreens.
Oh, wonderful.
She's followed me to every building I've been in. So she was at the Overlook with me for years there, and she absolutely loves older adults, geriatrics, and she's a great kid. She's going to be 21 in December, so she's getting up there.
Wow.
I have an 18-year-old daughter who just graduated from high school, Bay Path, which is in Charlton, where we used to live in that area. And she is graduated with her cosmetology license.
Wonderful.
And she works at a local salon on Shrewsbury Street, and she eventually will go back to school for business, and she wants to open her own salon. And then the baby boy, my son is 14, almost 15, and he is a boy's boy. He loves to fish, he loves the lake, he's counting all the different fish. He just caught his first pike, so he's excited about that.
He must love that you live on Lakefront Center.
He really does. His friends come over and they just go right out the back door to the lake, and they just stand there and fish. Sometimes they go down at night, sometimes early in the morning, and they have a list of fish that they have caught and the ones they want to catch. So they're different kinds, and yeah, he's a great kid. They're all wonderful kids. I'm a very lucky mama.
Oh, terrific.
Yep.
Have you found any time to do volunteer work at all?
So we volunteer a little. There's some things I would love to get into more volunteer. We are volunteering. This year is the first year the Pan Mass Challenge is leaving out of Worcester. So there's a group of us from Briarwood that are going to go and help the setup of that the Friday before the Pan Mass Challenge. So that's fun. Yeah, that's a lot of the opportunities and stuff we have here.
Yeah, didn't you do something at the local church down?
Oh, we have, yes, we have the Salem Covenant Church down the street, and they have a cleanup they do once a year on the road, and they clean up all of the trash. So Mark Nielsen is a great pastor. He's our in-house pastor. He's here all the time for different events. So when they said they were doing the cleanup over there, I offered my hand, and we went down for the day, and I worked alongside of them. So that was a one-off, but that was great.
With the schedule you've got, it would be hard to find much more time to do any volunteer work, but I think that's great because it gets you involved in the community in a different capacity.
Yeah, I got to meet a lot of new residents, and there was a couple residents I hadn't met down there, so that was great.
All right. So is there anything else about your position here at Briarwood that we haven't covered yet that you'd like to talk about at all?
I think my biggest take from being at Briarwood for the 3 or so months I've been here is just the family feel and the team feel, whether it's the administration office, whether it's the director, all of us are with each other and helpful. There's not one time where I felt like I've been alone or to do something alone. If I have questions about, it could be the printer, it could be, an email, and everyone is super graceful and super helpful, and I just, it's been quite a change, and I'm thrilled, honestly, yeah. It's been wonderful.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and we're very lucky to have you.
Well, thank you.
We're so glad you found Briarwood and that we found you.
Yes.
What a good fit.
Yeah, things are just meant to be sometimes. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, and it's so good to get to know a little bit more about you, and now we'll know some conversation topics to bring up when we see you again.
Yep, do.
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
so
thank
much.
you. Thank you.
The Briarwood Broadcasting Committee is an activity supported by your annual dues to the Briarwood Residents Association. We thank you very much for your support.